Hello, welcome back to Psychic Talk Card Reading. Thank you for so much for your patience. So I'm going to do a reading today on 2021. The deck I'm using is the Fairy Oracle, Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle deck. Okay. So, again, I'm always apologetic, for the inconsistencies. I would love to do readings a lot more, but I find that I think it's best when I'm not sure about certain things to hold off on readings, especially public readings. Because of course I don't want to do readings when I'm not certain, of what I'm reading. So, and this year has been particularly energetic in terms of there've been a lot of things happening, many things going, but because it's much more in the spiritual realm, like a lot of energy, it means it's incredibly difficult for me to put my finger on what to discuss first, what to talk about first, because it's all interrelated, it's all interconnected. Yeah. Um oops. Okay, so this is a 2021 reading. um okay, so I've got these three cards here. As you can see, there are different energies, different kinds of energies. We've got green, yellowish orange, and also a kind of purplish. I'll try to explain what I see in the cards just so that it's easy for those who want to do card reading, which I've been encouraging. Um so I'm starting off with the energy that I'm getting that's really coming through is a photocopy of 2020, I'm afraid to say. At the same time, just like 2020 was a year of a lot of losses, a lot of bloodshedding. But at the same time, what I'm picking up, it's like the bloodshedding is it works both ways. It brings both sorrow and also new beginnings. Yeah. So it's as if lots of things happening that might be termed as negative, but that would actually help society, help humanity to move forward. Yeah, in a way that is not superficial, or created. So I'm seeing a pretty much same blueprint as that of 2020, for the year 2021. So having said that, of course, it does not mean that it's negative. You just need to pick out of the year, or out of the energy, I guess, what it is that you want to do. Because there are a lot of people who have succeeded, who've managed to achieve certain things in the year 2020 that they had always wanted to achieve. Even though other people found it quite difficult. Um, yeah. So I keep getting it's a copy. It's a copy of 2020. I'm going to put in the comment section the link to a video that I made about the nexus, i.e. the royal family, because as the year has gone by, I realized um how relevant it was in explaining a lot of the things that have been happening. Yeah, so I'll put that link there. Um, it explains a lot about just the insanity, just how abnormal things are, how abnormal things are happening as if they are normal. Yeah. Um, okay, so I said I'll describe what I see. Um, so I've got this card here. This card is It reads, once was innocent. Um, Knowledge means change. And that's where we're moving into. So I've got this card here, and then the other one that I just picked, the Grail Fairy. And it reads fertility, the return of life, health, life cycles. So even in the midst of what some would term as tragedies, there's opportunity to get knowledge. And like this card says, knowledge means change. And also, I mean, the year 2020 is like, it's the beginning of a new age. We probably already know that. But it really is happening. A new age into what would be termed as the spiritual, all things spiritually minded, which means the spiritual includes your thoughts, your thought processes, your intention, your intuition, your instincts, most of all your instincts. So it's really the period to start listening to your instincts, learning how to manage your instinct, learning how to prioritize your instinct above anything else. And one of the best ways to do it, I'd say, is card reading, tarot card reading. Yeah. Um, so definitely into a year of a change, the change through knowledge. As you've probably observed, of course, many things are getting exposed all over the world, and they will keep getting exposed. But it's not just about the exposure, because the spiritual realm is not just exposing it for the sake of exposing it, or for the sake of those people being brought to book, or justice to be done on that level, uh on the superficial level, with to do with those people alone. Each one of us, each person is also going to be confronted with their own biases, with their own thought patterns, thought processes, with their own paradigms. And the knowledge is going to cause change. So I'm seeing the change as definite, it's inescapable. Everybody, every single living thing is going to go through change. Now, it just depends on the type of, the length of how uncomfortable you feel throughout the changes. You can make yourself comfortable by embracing your instincts, because our instinct, the way that we have been brought up in this world, which is the physical, is that we should listen to sort of the just people telling us things, and we take it as face value, or even if we doubt it by listening to somebody else rather than our own instincts. Whereas what's happening now is that the knowledge that will come primarily is going to be our own instincts. Like your intuition is, or your instincts will speak to you louder than anybody else's voice can. So it might seem like something simple or something little, but it's actually not, because it means that there there will be a lot of heartbreaks if your biases all throughout your life had been on thinking that someone or something was, or an institution was particularly good, or if not good, at least then not bad or not evil. And you suddenly discover through your instincts, I mean, it's going to be so strong, you can't shake it off. Yeah, you can't shake it off, that's what it is. Then it causes heartbreak, because a lot of people are not ready for that. A lot of people, contrary to what they might think or believe, um are not actually entirely ready to hear the truth, the pure truth, about even the things that they hold dear. So that's what's going to be happening. What these cards show, so for example, this card here, um, it can be a twin thing. In other words, it can be either good or bad. However you choose to take it. It can be either mysterious, like on the expressions of the women. It can be either mysterious, a little bit dark, or it can bring enlightenment. So, and then this card here shows it's very much a choice. You can choose for it to be either way, to go either way, but no one is going to wrestle your freedom from you. All the things happening all over the world today are pushing towards more freedom for the human soul, for the human spirit. Again, contrary to what a lot of people might think about, even about themselves or about others, the desire for freedom is not actually as powerful or as strong as they thought. Not that they don't want freedom, but when comes between freedom and their biases. A lot of people tend to go towards their biases. But what's happening at the moment is the spiritual realm is opening the door for more freedom rather than rather than catering to people's biases. Yeah. So this card here reads beauty's truth. Beauty's truth. Um, reading it, what I'm getting is sort of like a dichotomy because the truth can be ugly. But the card read beauty's truth, meaning that, you know, it's up to the individual to see the truth, or sorry, to see the beauty out of the truth that is going to be exposed, that is going to come out, even within themselves about their own characters. Yeah. So I mentioned, I mean, it's like a paradigm because, of course, the truth can be ugly, and not a lot of people, when the truth comes out, tend to see it as beautiful. They'll see it as ugly or as something to be discarded. Yeah, something to be discarded. But what this card shows, you can see the mushroom there, is essentially that it's only going to grow. So you either become comfortable with sitting on this truth or the opposite. Yeah. But it's a mushroom type of quality, so it's going to grow. And it will keep growing. Yeah. And you can see the butterfly there, meaning that the growth of the truth will lead to change. Again, like that card, uh like this card spoke about, knowledge brings change. It will lead to change, the kind of change that a butterfly has. And as we know, it's one of the most beautiful changes. Yeah, a butterfly. And if you become, or if you will yourself to be comfortable with the truth as this person is, because gauging from this person, the way they're leaning on the truth, on the mushroom, they're so comfortable, they're at ease at the very least. Then it will lead to the similar process as happened to the butterfly happening to you, happening to the person. They will likewise become a butterfly. Yeah. And in so doing, they become, if I can put it, beautiful. And what is attached to beauty is understanding. All the, I guess, the paradigms or the synonyms attached to beauty or beautiful, attractive, you bring attention. So that could apply to business. You draw in investors, you draw in people who have faith in your beliefs, in your belief system. You draw in people who want the best for you. Anything beautiful, anything beautiful. Yeah. But it very much depends on you, because this is the only character, I mean, in terms of humanity, that exists on this card. Yeah. Okay, so these two cards here, quite varied colors. I have to say these other cards are quite similar family in terms of coloring, but this one is quite different, meaning that, and it's the third set. So this kind of applies to the latter part of the year, I would say. Um, I'm picking up a duality, meaning that there will be a lot of separations because of the things that have taken place that I described with regards to these other cards. The more people come to the knowledge of the truth, the more they themselves have to choose whether they see the truth as beautiful or as something that is ugly, and to be discarded. The way I'm saying it might seem kind of outrageous or silly. How would people see the truth and discard it? But there are a lot of people doing that even today. And one of the worst things is they don't know it, or they don't want to admit it to themselves. But what's going to happen throughout the year? They will have to admit it to themselves, because it's no longer going to be about, to use an example, just politics. It will be about life and death, health, like what we've been through with COVID-19. So really a replica of 2020. And by the end of the year, people will be at opposite ends again. Not just opposite ends, more spiritually. Yeah, spiritually. And Perhaps you might think, okay, being spiritually opposite is not as bad as being physically opposite, but it's not the same. Seeing as we are moving into an era, 2020 vision type of energy, uh, and going forward, meaning that the spiritual is going to have more of a leverage over the physical. So imagine being separated spiritually from someone that you love, or at least someone that you care about. It's a division, it's a separation that cannot be fixed, that can never be fixed. Because too many things have happened to remove the doubt from people's minds that those who choose to see the truth as ugly and choose to reject the truth, um, and not doing it on purpose. It would be with all the things that would have taken place. And you can see this card here. These cards here are more, they're a darker energy than these ones in the middle of the year. So this meaning that we'll start the year off with dark energy. I don't know if I'll say like with a bang, although it depends on individuals and what they consider to be a bang. But essentially it's not going to be neutral. It won't be neutral energy, a bit like this one, which is closer to neutral. Meaning that if you started the year with a bang and then the energy, so it wasn't even an accident that you can put it down to a New Year's thing with the truths coming out. You move in further to the middle of the year, and more things keep happening to show the truth. Sorry, to expose the truth, right? And by the end of the year, the same momentum has continued. More of the truth has been exposed, and you still don't want to listen, it really means that you're doing it on purpose. There's absolutely no excuse. So on the one hand, I mean, just like with, again, this sort of 2020 twin, I see people, on the one hand, people, those rejecting the truth, not seeing it as beautiful, seeing it as more of like a darkish forest, compared to those who are more open to embrace it. So on the one hand, some accepting the truth as evil or as a just something not to touch in favor of, in quote, normal life. Um, and on the other side, those who are willing to embrace the truth, open their hearts to the truth, becoming lighter and consciously realizing that the other side does not really like the truth, and that with everything that has taken place, at the beginning of the year especially, that there's no chance of them ever reconciling with the truth. So if I have to say again, one of the reasons why I'm thinking I'm going to put the link down below in the comment section is because mm, some part of it, when I was describing what was going to happen, what I was seeing happening in the year 2020 in terms of energies especially, is because it will help to understand what I'm talking about. um it's very difficult to pick apart what will be happening because people will be experiencing it individually. You can't tell what someone else is thinking, so you won't know what they'll be going through in terms of the paradigms, the biases getting confirmed or getting destroyed or getting attacked. You won't know. And so lots of people are going to change. If you happen to pick up that someone close to you or someone that you know is changing in a way that your instinct is telling you that, this is off, or I don't like this, that you don't really like, try getting the cards and looking into them on an almost daily basis. If you can maybe do it, I don't know, every few days, then you do so. What you'll be doing is you're looking into the spirit, and because you are after the truth, you're going to be a sort of covering to them to not go fully overboard against the truth, because the spiritual realm has had enough. Too many people have been practicing hypocrisy, and hypocrisy in the this is not to condemn. It's literally a fact, as I've seen it in the cards. Hypocrisy causes cancer. it's extremely cancerous, because what hypocrisy does, it masks the truth, and by masking the truth, it masks reality, and it can cause many things like insanity. I mean, if you're masking the truth and masking reality, at some point, when reality is staring you straight in the face and you still sort of contort yourself to deny it, then you're messing with your mind. And your mind doesn't like it, because your mind is supposed to be in agreement with the spiritual realm. So if you are trying to convince your mind, or trying to push your mind, or trying to push the minds of other people that what they're saying is not reality, is not the truth, then it causes a clash, and you're grieving the person's spirit, at the very least. And at the very worst, what you'll be causing is a lot of schisms and ripple effects spiritually. And seeing as we're going into an era of where the spiritual realm is extremely dominant, even if those people chose to listen to you, um, whatever they saw would still get confirmed, because the spiritual realm is unrelenting. It has started to expose things, a lot of things, and it's not going to stop. So, in trying to convince someone else that what they're seeing is not the truth, you would only be deceiving not only yourself, but the other person as well, but not reality, because more layers are going to be peeled off and more truths will be exposed. Yeah. And in saying that more truths are going to be exposed, it applies not just to physical things like people's businesses and economies. It also applies to people's mindsets, people's emotions, to do with relationships. I mean, as we've seen with COVID-19, we've seen how much people within them were really not what they purported to be. Some people being willing to report others that are not following government guidelines, guidelines that are not even laws, but some people, some neighbors will be willing to report, even if it means that the police is going to come and, be heavy handed with their neighbors. But they don't care about that because they've got their own, be it agendas or whatever else. So, something like COVID-19 has served to expose people's real intentions, and it's only going to get, I guess I could say, worse or better. Either way, people's true intentions are going to be exposed. And when people's true intentions get exposed, it causes schisms, it causes ripple effects, the likes of which will be felt and seen even, beyond 2021. Yeah. But 2020, from 2020 going into 2021 is what we're really going to feel. A lot of people feeling different, feeling as if they don't belong, or they might not belong, even within close circles. Yeah, close circles. Okay. So I'm picking up this card here. Um, Garden of Action. Let me read what it says. It's time for you to step up and be the leader. And here I'm picking up times for people to be the leaders of their own emotions, yeah, of their own instincts. Um, your natural leadership skills are being called into action. This is your moment in the sun, so move into the light and shine for all to see. Yeah, I'll stop there. This is your moment in the sun. It's everybody's moment in the sun come 2021 as well. So move into the light and shine for all to see. Just like with the sun can burn, if you don't protect yourself properly, if you're not in the shade, for example, it can burn. It can also give benefits. So that dual nature again. If you choose to stand under the sun for too long, you'll be burnt. And what I'm getting here is that those who be standing for too long under the sun are those who, regardless of political affiliations or political differences, standing under the sun uh, for long would be those who, well, those who do not listen to their instincts. Because why would you stand for too long under the sun, right? The sun would only be beneficial to you if you measure the time that you're going to spend under it. If you spend too long under it, and it's not as if you won't feel it, you feel when you're spending too much time in the sun, like your skin starts burning, regardless, again, I'm saying regardless of however you stand, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of your thoughts on climate change, regardless of your thoughts on on uh whatever other topic, music, movies, it doesn't matter. um Everybody knows when the sun is benefiting them or not. And that's another thing as well. It's very much individual. No one can tell you that the sun is getting too much for you. Some people like just like some people like really hot showers. Some people like the sun when it's close to burning them, but they don't feel the pain. They just feel actually pleasure because they need that heat on them because maybe they haven't had the heat for a long time. So what the card is essentially saying, firstly, it's up to you to make the year something that the truth is not going to kill your plans, kill your year, kill your morale. Yeah. And it sounds an odd thing to say about the truth, but it can do so. If we liken it to the sun with regards to this card, so the sun can be beneficial so long as you're paying attention to how much and how long it's hitting you. If you don't pay attention, and here what I'm getting mainly is that if you those who would not pay attention is those who would be paying attention to other people's businesses and other things. Not saying that you shouldn't pay attention to, let's say, your family members or your friends, but do be careful that you're not giving away too much of your energy on other things than yourself. I think I've mentioned it before. Really, how people should be is that you come first. It's not actually selfishness. That statement that you should love other people as you love yourself. There's a there's a standard there. It's loving others as you love yourself. It's not love others. It's love others as you love yourself. Charity begins at home. You cannot help other people when you haven't helped yourself. Because if you don't help yourself, you will have no standard by which to help other people. Lots of people have been doing it in reverse. And that's because, of course, we've grown up in a world that teaches us that. And that tends to make us feel guilty for doing the opposite. But you've got to measure it. Standing too long in the sun would be akin to paying way more attention to others' businesses than to yours. It's going to burn you. It will cause you to misinterpret the truth. When the truth comes to you, you'll see it as an attack rather than as something that you can use to help you, something that is coming to be useful to you. Yeah. So those are the main messages that I'm getting. Hopefully I'll get to do more videos. I'll put this video out, and if you have any particular questions about the year 2021, do let me know. Don't hesitate to let me know, and I will try to make other videos. Yeah. So thank you so very much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.